Hello, I'm Michael van Geuwen. Welcome to Behind the Bar with Paul Starr.
Welcome Behind the Bar with Paul Starr, brought to you by William Hill, the proud sponsor of the World Darts Championship. I'm happy to say we're joined by the 1983 World Darts Champion, Keith Deller. How you doing, Keith?
Very well, thanks, Paul.
So, did you manage to go to Dubai?
No, I went to my local racecourse track at Newmarket and kept picking losers, so might as well gone to Dubai.
Yeah, it would have been cheaper.
Exactly.
I'll tell you what, a great tournament. In the first game on, your boy Adrian, fantastic game against Bunting. That was a great start to the tournament, wasn't it?
That's right. I mean, Adrian was one of the four seeds, so, and the four players that you had to play were all great players, and Stevens, he's done really well in the PDC since he started. He's played in the Premier League and played really well.
Yeah.
And it was a really tough game, and I think Adrian got the highest average of the tournament so far there, until it got beaten later on by MVG. But 106 average, and Stephen had 3 darts to take Adrian out. But as Adrian said to me later, he called me up and said, it was a fantastic game, and if he'd have lost, it wouldn't have been nothing wrong in that game, because they both. 11-180s, 50% checkout for Stephen. He's got to be really disappointed that he never won that match.
Yeah, and they say Anderson won 10-8 against Wade, Taylor 10-5, and MVG comes from 4-1 down to beat Barney at 10-8, and I think that's the sort of story of the tournament for MVG, because I think in the semi-final he'd done the same against Adrian. He was 6-3 down, wasn't he?
4-1 down like Barney, 6-3 down. I think personally, that one got away there for Adrian. I feel that he should have won that game. The 2 darts to go 9-7. It happened against Barney as well. Barney had 3 darts to go 9-7 up, and then it went 8-all. Yeah. Then Adrian done the same. I think 9-7 up with the throw, first to 11. I think Michael would have been in big trouble there, but he's number one for a reason, and he takes his chances, and it's the same really. But Phil in the final, Phil had 3 darts at a double to go 9-7 up. So it seemed to happen every round. But these top players, these 2 darts, they're priceless. You've got to put them away.
Got to put them away, because Phil won 11-3 in the semi, but say in the final, great averages. Phil over 107 and Michael just under. But I think Michael something like 8-6 down and just stormed away like he does and wins 11-8. And that's all 3 Dubai Masters now for Michael. It's impressive, isn't it?
Yes, Michael the last couple of years, he's been the best player in the world. Personally, I think the best player in the world the last 5 months has been Gary Anderson, because Gary held the Players' Championship, then he won the world title, then he won the Premier League. So, obviously Michael's not had it all his own way. Even though he's playing the fantastic darts, he's not been taking all the big titles. So, I think Gary's done great. Gary didn't play too well in the semis against Phil, but Phil didn't give him a chance. Phil came out the traps really well, and. You ain't going to come back against someone of Phil's class, with a 5-leg advantage. So I think that, well done to Michael. I think he, had a little bit of luck, but, he took his chances, and that's what you got to do.
That's what you got to do, yeah. And I think every match, all 7 matches, all went with seedings, which is not a good one for the bookies, I would imagine. And nobody won the Mercedes with the 9 dart. I see there was offering a Mercedes for a 9 dart check, but nobody landed that.
Well, I did try to claim it off Adrian. I said, would it be nice to give it to your manager? But I think the family were going to get that first.
They got there first. Talking of Adrian, I think you mentioned that there may be a new sponsorship on the deal for AD.
That's right. It's gone really well since we got back together again, and and obviously Adrian's shirt is full up again now, which is what it was like before with me, and we had brilliant sponsors then. Obviously we've got Target still that have been there all the time, and Gary's been first class. There's no one better than Gary anyway, and Target. And also RBS, Rab Bain. Rab was used to sponsor the likes of Dennis Ovens, Alex Roy, myself over the years, and I said to him when he took Adrian on, I said, now you've got someone who can win a tournament. So he enjoys that. He's a fantastic lad. And then we've just been signed up 3 weeks ago with Twyford the bathrooms, which is big nationwide, big major company, and they've been fantastic. They're really looking forward to it, like we are. So, and for today we've had Copart, who are the big car auction companies. They're all over the world. Fantastic. They've just joined us now, and we're very pleased and appreciate that the big companies that Adrian's now got behind him, that's going to hopefully this year win some major titles.
Some majors, yeah. I know. Obviously, with a heavy schedule, he's not able to compete in European Tour number 4 this week, the Dutch Darts Masters. Saving himself for the World Cup, perhaps.
Well, he didn't come back till day from Dubai, and it takes you a few days to, get over that, because it was very hot. We're going from like cold weather to play outside in the heat.
Yeah.
And, I think that the World Cup, playing with Phil next week, on the 11th of June, they've got a great chance of winning. Obviously, they're one of the favourites. And I think Adrian wants to take 2 or 3 days off and then, get on the board and practice hard, because obviously, I don't think he played his best darts last year in the World Cup. But, I think Adrian, is looking forward to playing with Phil. They're great mates. And, so I think it's a good idea just to take a break from the weekend, because you've got, I think, 4,500 people at Holland, and it is quite demanding. You've got to travel, then, it takes, before you know it, you're back, and then you've got to go away again. So I think he's done right. He's going to take it easy. Don't forget, they just had the Premier League for 16 weeks, playing in tournaments, which Adrian's done very well. So, they've been long weekends, Paul, and I think he just wants to chill out a little bit and just get focused for next week.
Yeah, and if don't mind me mentioning it, a couple of the odds here say that's the 11th to the 14th of June in Germany. We've got England, obviously with Phil in Adrian, 7-4. The Dutch, RVB and RVB, MVG and RVB, they're 7-4 as well. But they've got a tough opening game against the USA, haven't they?
That's right. I think it's going to be the same format as last year, where you play as a pair.
Yeah.
So there's no singles. So it's a lot. Maybe for the not such, not the favourites, they're going to feel comfortable playing as a pair, because like the Americans, they play a lot of tournaments in America that are pairs, triples, fours, and Darren Young and Larry Butler, they're going to be tricky. I think obviously you've got to back Holland, but it's a short format. I think Scotland have got Singapore. Paul Lim, he's been around a long time. They're all dangerous. I mean, and I think Australia, number 4 seeds, which, that's done by the rankings, but Paul Nicholson hasn't done nothing for quite a while, and and even Simon agreed that the last sort of 15 months, he hasn't been on top form, and I think they're vulnerable, the 4 seeds.
I think when you say, well, look, we've got the Scotland with Peter Wright in Gary at 3-1, and like say Australia, between 20 and 25-1 with the layers, that says it all. You've got Belgium the same sort of price with the Hybrex brothers, but on form, to be honest with you, you'd probably go with Belgium, wouldn't you? Really, they're probably better.
I think if England, do the job what they should do, I think they'll come through their section.
Yeah.
And I'm the same. I think it could be either Belgium, it could even be Austria. Austria could be dangerous. Mensah, I've been watching him on the floor a couple of weeks ago when I went to watch Adrian, and he played Adrian, and he's playing some fantastic darts, and he's in the high 90s a lot of the times now. So, and I think he's playing was at Roby Rodriguez. I think that's a decent pair, and you got to watch these sort of players, because the format's going to suit them. They're going to like playing the players over like 9 legs. So I think there'll be 2 or 3 shocks first round, but hopefully it's not England.
Hopefully it's not England. No, that's it. And yourself, Keith, I see you're still doing the exhibitions on the Legends Tour, and with a bit with Adrian, so you're keeping yourself busy.
That's right. I still do a lot of, like Legends or Leg Ends. I'm looking forward to the end of June to going to Norwich City Football Ground for a big night. Now they've gone up.
How are they going to feel about you going there, Keith, being an Ipswich fan?
I think they're all looking forward to rub my nose now that they're in the Premier League and we're still in the Championship. So I'm afraid I've gave the Norwich fans a lot of stick this year, so we'll have to take it.
Yeah.
But enjoying it, Paul. I still enjoy playing in exhibitions, and next year, myself, Wayne Mardle, Adrian Lewis, Russ Bray, Ben Nicholson from up north. I think you've heard of Ben. He's trying to put some promotions on, and we're looking to take this around the country. Obviously, just trying to find the date is the hardest thing because of the diary is so busy, and you've got to have time to relax as well. But I think that'd be a great lineup, because obviously you got myself that will keep the older people coming along, and you got Wayne who's the entertainer, and then you got to see the people that I want to take Adrian on. So I'm really looking forward to that next year. But it's fantastic.
Yeah, well, that is wonderful. Well, Keith, thank you so much for joining us, and hopefully you don't mind joining us again on Behind the Bar in the future. Thank you so much for your time, Keith.
Thanks very much, Paul. All the best.
Okay, see you soon. Cheers.
Cheers. Bye-bye now.
Great to catch up there with Keith Deller, and as we mentioned, the odds for the World Cup of Darts. I say it's in Frankfurt in Germany, 11th or 14th of June. Just to recap, we got England and the Dutch there available at 7-4, Scotland 3-1, Australia around about 20-25-1, and Belgium the same sort of price there. It's going to be a great tournament, and like Keith said, maybe some shocks on the way there. Something else to quickly mention: the PDC Unicorn Challenge Tour at the weekend that took place in Wigan. That was 5, 6, 7, and 8 on Saturday. Success for Jan Dekker and Matt Clark, and on the Sunday for Sean Griffiths and Joe Murnan, who of course won his first Players' Championship in the middle of May. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for joining us on Tonks and Tales. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's free. Like our Facebook page and follow us on Twitter. And join us next week on more Behind the Bar, where we're trying to grab some more value from William Hill, the proud sponsors of the World Darts Championship. We look forward to seeing you then.